So I am a day late, which I should have known was just going to happen at some point, that I was going to run into a time where it would be like, oh crap, can't record, didn't record, whatever the case may be. So I'm late, but I think that's actually going to be the first thing that I put on my list. I have been learning, I believe, that my time is precious, and my time and the way I use it, I get to decide that, right? Like, I don't have to put the pressure on myself to do some of the things that either the world tells me to do, or I tell myself I have to do, or want to do, or need to do. So I think I'm at the point, especially with this, where this is supposed to be fun, and this is supposed to be just a good exercise for me. And as long as I don't completely fall off the treadmill, I'm okay, right? Like, so I didn't completely fall off the treadmill. I just got on it a day later than I expected, maybe a couple days later at this point, because I'm going to record it and post it all in the same day, because I want to at least keep some kind of schedule going. So it was a very busy weekend, and I got to Monday and I didn't feel well on Monday, and I decided not to push myself. And so here I am on a Tuesday recording, and then going to immediately upload. So I'm going to give myself that grace. I'm going to give myself that time and say, this is what's important, is that I don't fall off, but that I go at the pace that makes sense for me and for my life. So that's number one. Number two would be that last week, this week that I'm talking about currently, was a really amazing week to be reminded of what I'm going to call provision. So if you know me, and even if you don't, I believe in Jesus. I follow Jesus. That's my faith background. That's my faith rooting. It's my faith foundation. And I believe that because of my faith, there's a thing called provision. And that is that there are certain things that I can't explain that are provided to me and my family. And it's not by human hands, it's not by human doing that those things are made possible. And so no matter what your background is, I believe that you will encounter in your life times where things just happen for you, or things happen to you, times of abundance that you can't explain. There are times of something being provided for you, provision, that you can't explain, that you can't put the credit into your own hands. You may be able to put it into someone else's hands, but you can't put it into your own hands, and you can't take control of that provision. All I would say is, like, I will go back and reference my previous week, which was about how difficult in some ways the past 2 months have been. And the past 2 months have been really hard. And I've not been paying myself anything for 2 months. So the fact that we made it through 2 months and I still have a business is provision in itself. It was getting to the point where something was going to need to change quickly in order for me to be able to hold on to what I'm doing now, which is my own business. And in 2 days this week, I made more money than not only the past 2 months, but probably the past 3 months. And when I say made more money, like, I don't have all that money yet, right? That is contract signed, things like that. But the business has on its books more business than I've had in a very long time. And there's nothing, I could try to explain it all. Like, I could say, I've been working hard to get new clients. I've had lots of meetings. I've had lots of calls. I could say all of that. But the reality is that the 2 contracts I signed have very little to do with any work that I've put in with even in the past 2 months. One of them was a referral from someone that I worked with at a previous job out of the blue. One of them was someone I've known, a good friend that I've known for a long time, and we've been talking for a long time about working together, and things just finally clicked. They finally fell into place. And so while I could say, yes, there was something that I've done to cultivate those relationships, or there's something that I did to ultimately lead to that business. I could say that, but at the same time, I believe that most of that was timing. Most of that was, and this is something that I guess I'm learning too, that a lot of businesses, a lot of small businesses I know from, listening to podcasts, talking to other people, they go through this dry spell. And if they can get through that, it seems as though things pick up momentum. That, referring back to, a previous week, like when that momentum comes, you just kind of feel the whole ball rolling down the hill, right? And it just picks up pace. And that's what I've been feeling, obviously, in that previous week, but even in this week, is just that momentum has just been gaining steam, and it's resulted in, and now that I think about it, there's even another contract that got signed that I didn't even think about. That momentum has been crazy, watching the ball really pick up pace down the hill. And in a lot of ways, me just being carried along for the ride. And, that's not giving myself a whole lot of credit, which I think I can take some, but I also think it's just been such a hard, it's just been really, really hard. I didn't expect, it has been really hard. The end of 2023 was really, really hard. And so to get to the end of January, having not paid myself a dime, and all of a sudden February 1st comes around and there's business. It just feels like I'm going to say we, because I don't think I'm alone in this. It feels like we've pushed through that hump, like we've pushed through that desert, that wasteland space, into something new. And I'm really excited about it. And I'm excited to see where it takes us. So, lots that's been learned in the past week. I'm grateful that I took another day just to process even some more too. But yeah, that is what I learned this week, the week of January. It was January something. So anyways, all right. I will see you next week. See y'all.